My one love is actually One Love Massive. I'm an engineer here as well as a DJ.
My one love is telling stories through songwriting and music.
My one love is music and artists, man. Any way I can help any artist get some recognition out here, that's what I'm about.
My one love is creating art, music, culture, just creation.
Contributing to the deconstruction of the patriarchy, sexism, of the racism, institutions like that.
My one love is elevation, progression, always trying to reach higher levels, trying to make sure everybody gets a proper look and proper love they get in the universe.
My one love is just building for the community and creating for the culture.
My one love is youth and community and equipping them with the tools to be successful.
My one love is fashion in the city.
My one love is carrying the torch for hip-hop in D.C.
My one love is creating a space and a platform for all these amazing people to get together and to feel accepted, to feel loved, to feel a part of something.
We gotta do it for the culture. Do it for the people. Do it for the block. And of course, do it for the cypher.
So you say that you spit, well, step on up. No battle rap, I eat MCs for lunch. Been moving crowds for years, come act tough. I will use your flow to light your ass up. No half step, only full press to the neck. If you bullshit and don't rock the mic correct, my level of mastery will show gaps that stretch like dragging a smart car up against the back. Floyd's D with Tyson's knack of attack. About that time to bring hip-hop back, where you perfect the craft, no room for whack. And your rise to fame is by skills you pack. So you got hot bars, well now's your chance. Come one, come all, come to the dance. Santos the host, 06 Chris with the bag. Cypher for the radio, this is the lab.
And welcome back to another fantastic, fabulous episode of the MNM Show. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Big shout out to the one and only Molly Ruland. How you doing today?
Amazing.
Really?
No, not at all. Lying like shit.
Glad to see you, though.
Yes, it's nice to see you. It's feel like it's been a long time.
It has been a long time. Welcome back, the one and only, the real Jay Mills. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Up here trying to make sure that I'm sharing this live video. Shout out to everybody that is tuning in to the MNM Show.
Hey. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm super excited today, y'all. We have a very, very special guest. Please get excited and welcome Johnnie Dempsey of Revolution of Haircare, a.k.a. Mahogany's, who we're going to learn more about as this show goes on. Welcome.
Thank you.
How you
for
feeling?
having me.
How you feeling?
Feel great. I
feel
great.
Awesome.
Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. So, we've been starting out our shows just with like a quick general check-in, and I brought a couple of things today to get us into the holiday spirit.
Word.
So we've got some candy canes. Feel free to have something to orally enjoy throughout the show.
Thanks for the clarification.
Okay.
And
what else?
We have
Nikki always like innocently makes shit super
She
weird.
does for your oral enjoyment.
And we also have this really cool little nutcracker here too.
Nutcrackers and canes for your mouth.
Right. Thank God you clarified, because show is about to get really weird, man.
Wasn't quite sure what to do with
what
the
do you guys
cane.
do with candy canes at your house? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I decorated my tree today, so I put most of them on the tree.
Yeah. I like to call them candy J's.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are though.
They are.
Straight up.
They straight up are a J.
It's a J.
Like, literally.
They should be called candy J's.
I am straight up a candy also. So
Straight up. Just like candy.
Yep.
Condensed milk. Okay.
I was waiting the whole time to say that. I knew it was gonna walk open.
Well, holiday spirit, everyone, get into it. So, I want to check in a little bit. Molly, you just got back from Mexico.
Yes, I.
Ole.
And it looks like you have this cool, dope, new, colorful tattoo.
Yes.
Tell us about this.
Well, I went to San Miguel de Allende, which is a voted the best city in the whole world by some travel magazine, but that's kind of super douchey. I don't really give a fuck about that. But years ago, my aunt, one of the few people in my family that I was close to at all, used to travel there every year and go to this artist colony and paint. And she was a magical and batshit crazy woman, and she shaped a lot of who I am today. And for years as a kid, she would talk about going to San Miguel and painting for a couple months and coming back, and I always really wanted to go. She passed away a number of years ago, but I always remembered that. And then randomly, my best friend's family, shout out to the Arkales and Gia Michaels, invited me to come to Thanksgiving, and they were like, yeah, we're going to San Miguel de Allende. And I'm like,
hello.
What? I wasn't even sure that place actually existed. You know what I mean? And so we got to go to the place where my aunt, a lot of her artistry was shaped and formed in this place. And I mean, it's just like this super old town with cobblestone roads and like, I mean, it's just super old, super beautiful, but I could definitely feel a lot of my aunt's presence there. I could tell how she was influenced, and the art community there is incredible. So I wanted to bring home some art with me, and San Miguel is a very like religious and romantic town, and they have a lot of imagery of the San Miguel heart, which is the heart of eternal flame with wings coming out of it, and that's like in every shop you go into, like everywhere you go into, like that imagery is there. And so I wanted to kind of bring some of that home with me, but without being, you know, sacrilegious or disrespectful to what it means to them versus, you know, what it means to me. So I kind of switched it up a little bit and brought it home. So
That's super dope.
Thanks.
That's super dope. That actually reminds me well, when I was 17 or 16, my mom said I could get a tattoo. And she took me to the tattoo shop, and I looked at like all the different options they had. But I was like, nah, like this is forever. It's got to be something that's really special for me. So then probably for like that was 17. So for 20 years, I've been drawing this symbol over and over and over again. And it's a heart with wings coming off of it with a crown on top. And sometimes it's a DC flag is the crown or not.
Right.
But to me, it's a symbol of love conquers all, love rises above all.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of that. That's super awesome.
Well, I think that the universe is telling you should get some ink. Do it.
So I got this one
You're a gangster.
tattoo.
Did it
this
hurt?
little tiny. Oh my God, the worst pain ever. And it was only 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes way too long. I definitely like cried. Of course, this is like a bone right here, but I don't know. I wanted to used to get like a whole sleeve. I have this like mermaid concept with swans and like flowers and everything. But then after getting this one
You
for
were like,
5 minutes, I'm
no.
like, hell no, I will not be getting that.
Jay, do you have any tattoos?
I do. I got my first tattoo when I was 16. I wanted to have music in Chinese on my back. And then I grew taller, thicker, and it was no longer at the small of my back. It was at the
Does
top
it
of
say
my
something
ass.
else now?
So, yeah, I got it covered up. And it took like 3 times to get it covered up because, tattoo on your spine.
Ooh.
Right.
All the nerves.
All of the nerves.
All of the bones.
Yeah, so that's my tattoo story. I wanted more than just the back. I wanted a pant. Well, like a short. Not
Right.
I didn't want it all the way down my leg, but like top of the thigh, like something like that. Just like a nice little, but no. They told me that it wouldn't hurt anymore. Like I got in the most painful place that you could get it in, and I was just like,
You gotta like the pain.
yeah.
I
You
don't
gotta
trust
enjoy it.
y'all. Right.
You gotta enjoy
It wasn't that bad and on the meaty parts. That is true, but yeah, you got to be a special kind of.
I enjoyed it. I had a
Special kinda
smile
person.
on my face.
Exactly.
I was like,
Do you have any tattoos?
Yeah, I have one on my back like you. I got it when I was 19, and to me it meant growth. So it's like a blooming rose, but it hurt so bad. I didn't go back to get it colored or anything. I was so
Right.
So yeah, I wanted another tattoo, but I was like, after, like you said, after that one, I'm done.
But see, now you've had the pain of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For 20 years, you'll be like, oh, that shit's nothing.
Yeah, after having my
fam.
baby.
Getting out of bed. Yeah,
having a kid.
you
I
squeeze
think I
the
could
whole
try
person
again.
out. You know what I'm saying? Like
mean,
a
I didn't-
tattoo is tiny little needles. Tiny little needles. Nothing like a whole person coming out, you know?
Or labor. Labor hurts a lot.
Labor's
I think
painful.
that's what.
I had a
Life.
C-section though, so thank God I didn't have to push her out. But that was painful too, though.
Yeah, the after the C-section.
Oh, that was horrible.
Oh God.
But childbirth is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. But I thought about getting another one though.
That's why I
recently.
pop birth control like Skittles, you know what I'm saying?
You definitely should. You definitely should.
Just kidding. I don't believe in birth control.
I like the pain of childbirth only because I now understand how, like, you know, moms have those hands that don't burn, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's because after labor things don't hurt as much as they used to. Well, burning pot, man.
Yes.
I think giving
Straining
birth is
spaghetti
like-
with your hands, like, fuck with me.
I don't feel anything.
I pay your rent.
It's not that hot.
Oh man, great.
You're like immune to bodily fluids. You're just like, ah.
Yeah, you get puked and peed and pooped on
All types of stuff.
in a day.
How?
For breakfast.
Just right before noon. Like, how was your day? I got peed, pooped, and puked on.
Yep.
And that was before you
This
even saw the
morning.
kids.
Good one.
And I remember one time I changed my nephew's diaper. He was still a baby, and like he just like it
Yep.
like peed like in an arch, like straight onto me, and he was giggling. And
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, wouldn't you?
I got him. I was just like,
Even
wow,
if you did it by
okay.
accident, I'd be like, oh shit.
I'm like, all right,
Look at me.
all right. I was like, I hope this is not a sign for the future, but
No, R. Kelly ass.
you know, so yeah.
not
Yeah, no. I was like, I was about to. No, I'm just not gonna say it. So, Jay Mills, how was your week this past week? What's new? What's been going on?
Oh man, I had an amazing weekend. I had a Sistar session, the last one of the year underneath the full moon. And I had this photo shoot on Sunday.
Oh my God.
Sponsored by Tiger Swan Boutique.
Yes.
Curated by Nikki Lewis. And it was transformative. The theme was Harlem Nights, Roaring 20s, high fashion of days gone by. Very Great Gatsby, lots of pearls and sequins and lace and furs. And it was a photo shoot for my event space, but I wanted it to look really, really classy. And when I think of class, to me, that's just like, it's the epitome of class, for real. I mean, as we dressed in that, and you know, for me getting all dressed, and then, but everybody else, when everybody was dressed, everybody's in furs and pearls, and it was better than prom. Like I wasn't prepared for what that felt like to be around all of these. I don't even have the words for it. Like, it just. People stood differently. There were some folks who didn't know they were going to be participating. They had just come along with their friend. But when they saw the clothing racks, man, Nikki did the damn thing,
I
yo.
did that.
She did that. It was amazing. It was uplifting. Even for the guys who didn't think that they wanted to dress up, and then they put on a fur, and we're like, well, is there a shirt?
Yes.
Is there something I could just, you know, just seeing that, it was great. And I'm excited. Shout outs to the J Suite and further dress up parties with Tiger Swan.
Yes, and shout out to your photographer too. Can't wait to see
Yes.
all of her pictures.
Shout outs to Empress, man. She came
Yes.
through last week with the juice and all that. And she's an amazing photographer. She's done the photography for a couple of my album shoots. For The Beautiful Mind. She's behind the Winter Sadness shoot. She's an amazing assassin. That's what I call it. When you get to this level of photography where you're an assassin, because you get the kill shot quickly.
Yes.
No, that's all it takes. Damn, she shot me. Shot the fuck out of me. Wow.
And it was good.
And it was good.
That picture of you.
From this morning's post.
I don't know. What'd you
It's
put
so
up? I feel
beautiful.
like you put
The
it up
black and
yesterday.
white one?
The one with you with the hair and you're looking that way, that shit is timeless.
Oh, were you in the red outside?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
That
Promoting.
shot.
Yeah, with the
that is such
corset.
a beautiful picture of you. It's so you.
Thank you. And that was what I was embodying again. Like when I dressed like that, I don't know. I think I must have been Madam C.J. Walker or something in the past, but I really feel attached to that time period being a Washingtonian right now. I mean, it's just crazy the parallels between now and 100 years ago. Exactly 100 years ago, ending Prohibition, right before Prohibition ended, at the height of the speakeasies, and just, I don't care what you were doing. If you was a prostitute, if you was a gangster, if you was a banker, you was dressed to the nines, dapper Dan down, tailored everything, the hats, the ascots, the tie clips, the cuff links, and
The brooches.
the brooches and the laces
the
and
fringes.
the
I want that time to
accoutrement.
come back, but I wouldn't do well. I would definitely. I
You
would struggle.
would. Oh my gosh.
I
I
don't
could
think
just
zip up
picture you.
hoodies would.
No, man,
crush
but you
it.
could wear a little shimmery number.
Girl, we could like put brooches all over your hoodie.
I'll be like the dock worker. You know what I mean?
Which they were super fly too.
They
with the
were.
high-waisted and the ascot and the like
Yeah, they
little
were.
fold over. Like, yeah, 20s.
All right, I need to step my dock game up.
The 20s was just, I don't know, maybe it was because when there was no TV and internet and radio, you just had a lot of time
Yes.
to tailor your outfit. So you had a sitting room where you just sat
Sewed,
in the
crocheted,
room.
read,
You had a parlor.
told stories,
Yeah.
had tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's back when they chewed gum as a pastime.
Yeah.
It was a thing.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it was a thing to do.
I mean, people would brush their hair like 100 times.
They did. It was a
Yeah.
thing.
Is that real?
No, it is real, and they had like the sets, you know, the bristle brush with the ivory comb with the real silver hand mirror, like
Yeah.
a set, you know.
They're like 3 elephants had to die to make this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I use it
Basically.
every day.
We killed 1 million oysters to make this necklace.
to make these earrings.
It drapes to my feet, so I can wrap it around many
Yeah,
times.
in fact,
Cover it with my cloak.
I think the Audubon Society
people.
got like pretty big after the 1920s and 30s because they were like, yo, y'all got to stop killing all these birds for
Yes,
these hats.
I have a peacock.
Oh, is that real?
I think so, yeah.
Ostrich fan.
Yes.
It's a fan. I killed an ostrich to make
A
this.
fan.
fan.
Yes.
It was those fans were beautiful.
Gorgeous. That's why I search for stuff vintage only. Not furs made today or ostrich anything made today.
Yo,
I'm looking for the vintage stuff. It was already
Chinchillas
killed.
and minks are very mean animals. I'm just
Genuine
gonna say
roadrunner.
they're mean.
Well, I'm really excited because one of the chicks tried on the tan coat with the mink collar, the swing coat, and she just looked glorious. And when I walked up at the end of the photo shoot and saw all of the women standing in formation at the end of the hallway, it just gave me life. And like you said, like the women actually stood different. They stood with their shoulders squared. They stood with a little extra curvature in their hip. They put their leg out, you know. And when I style individual clients, like that's the moment I'm always going for. When you see the woman pop her hip, toss her head around, like that's the moment of transformation when she's really feeling herself.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm excited for any and all opportunities for women to experience that. And speaking of that, I want to actually reverse things a little bit. I wanted to talk about your music career first, but I think I want to talk about your hair first because hair is of utmost importance
Yes, it is.
to women having that transformational moment of really feeling themselves, of loving themselves. And I had posted on Instagram earlier today at Tiger Swan Style that when I thought about it, there actually is no Tiger Swan Style without Johnnie Dempsey and Revolution of Haircare, because every time I go to see you, you leave my hair healthy, silky, and super fly, and you enable me to transform my hair with my feelings and different looks. So I can do a 1950s victory roll if I want. I can do Maryland curls. I can wear an afro. I can keep this undershave and look fly and modern. I'm able to transform my looks with my hair, and I just really could not do that without you.
Oh, thank you.
So, no, thank you. So tell us a little bit, like, what inspired you? How did you get started? Where did you learn to do hair?
Well, I've been doing hair since I was like 12 or 13 out of my house. My mom had her den set up for me, like a salon, because I would do everybody's hair in the neighborhood and everything like that. So it was always a passion of mine to do hair.
Mm-hmm.
So right after high school, I went straight to hair school.
And you just like knew it, or was it like you saw some people in your family in your neighborhood that were doing hair that had super hair fly? You're like, I want to do that.
I think it just seemed like it came natural to me to do hair. It was like a natural niche for me.
Yeah.
It was like I always knew what I want. Some people don't know what they want to do till later on. I always knew exactly what I want to do in my life. And I always want to make women feel good about themselves. Whether it's a man or a woman, because I do males hair too. I do lock maintenance. I do, cuts, colors. I do everything. So I always want to make people feel good about themselves. And that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Making their hair look fly. When your hair is done, you feel good.
And actually, we have a couple of pictures, I think, slides of some of Johnnie's work, some of the braids, some of the natural updos she's done. If y'all can show that as we're talking so clients can see, or potential future clients can see, that would be dope. But so when you started doing hair at 12 or 13, I mean, were you doing braids? Were you doing twists? Like, how did you start?
When I first started, it was braids. I was doing all the guys in the neighborhood straight back cornrows or individual plaits and stuff like that. And then it went on to add in hair, do like extensions and weaves and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing all my friends' mom's hair and weaves with the cornrows in the front. So yeah, it started with cornrows and braids first.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. That's a deep part of like African culture. It's like in our bones from the earth.
Yeah.
We be braiding. So then you went to school. Where'd you go to school?
I went to Dudley Beauty College.
Okay.
Yep, I went to Dudley Beauty College.
And that's here in DC, right?
Yes, that's on Rhode Island.
Rhode Island Avenue.
Yes.
Still there.
Yes, it's still there. They just reopened it.
Awesome.
They just reopened it.
I remember, I don't know if you ladies going to the hair salon growing up, but there's always the Dudley book of looks of how to get your hair done. Sometimes they would be having super dope. Other times you'd be like, what is that?
Yeah, that's how you look at hair books. You be like, what is that? And it's specifically for a hair book or a hair show, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the craziest or most unique updo you've ever done?
I think I did one for a wedding one time where a girl basically it was something like a beehive, but she wanted it built like braids. She was natural, and I like wrapped it around. It was sitting straight up on her head.
Wow.
Where she had her veil wrapped around it.
So you like actually
I wish I had a picture of it.
Like a crown
yeah,
on her head.
on top of her head, because she wanted something natural, but she wanted something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the dopest and the craziest updo I ever did in my life.
How long did it take you?
I think it took me like almost 2 hours. Thank God I got everyone else's hair out the way. Everyone else's hair was like simple. But when it got to her, she wanted like a...
She's like everyone else, straight and flat. Me, beehive.
She wanted something like just sitting straight up top of her head. Yeah.
Nice.
Like Marge Simpson.
Yeah. Similar to that. I wish I had a picture because it happened so many years ago. I wish I had a picture of it though. That was the craziest thing. Most people like their hair to look effortless when they get married. She wanted something crazy.
Yeah.
She was
like, oh, this?
She was like, yeah, I want something
I do this all the time.
But she was very natural, Afrocentric, so yeah.
Yes. So, I was getting my hair done with you a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And we had a client come in who was, you remember her, she was talking about having some hair trouble and like not feeling like her hairdresser valued her. This was not Johnnie's client. And she was upset because she hadn't been able to get a hold of her hairdresser, and then she was just upset. So she started talking about how hairdressers and stylists are a dime a dozen, basically. And I got offended because I'm like, no, they're not. And then when she left, we started talking about sort of like the science of hair and how much you learn, and how much you really put into, the anatomy of someone's hair, right? You know, so tell me a little bit about that. What's the doctor of hair, like, what is that about?
So the first few tests is like trichology, anatomy. We basically learn about the skin, and we learn about what could cause a person to have an allergic reaction to color or any type of chemical and stuff like that. So it's a lot of, I can't remember everything off the top of my head, but it's a lot of science that goes into doing hair. You have to really know about the human body before you even get on the floor and to touch someone's hair. So when she was saying what she was saying, I'm like, no, this is really serious. We're like doctors of hair. So before you do color, you always have to do a patch test and stuff like that just to make sure a person won't have an allergic reaction to the color. So, yeah, I don't remember everything, Nikki.
It's okay.
There's going to be a quiz after.
But, yeah, it's like trichology is one of the things. So it's like almost 15 to 20 tests we got to take before we actually get on the floor to actually touch someone's hair. They want to make sure we know our stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We don't want your hair to fall out as soon as we touch it, so yeah.
Which that has happened. That has happened to me before, like having a relaxer on like too long back in the 90s or something. Yeah, my hair like broke off in high school, like my senior year. I had my hair in braids for like, I don't know, 5 years straight, in and out, in and out, in and out. And then when I was just like, I'm done with this, you know, I had this long, bountiful hair. And I went to get it straightened, and I didn't know at the time, you know. But I guess, I mean, my hair broke off. It was like down to here, and then it was like up to here, because I didn't keep it, I guess, oiled properly, and I just didn't know how to maintain my hair at the time. So that was really rough and sad, but it grew back, thank God. But do you ladies have any horror hair stories or horror hair transition stories
Other
from
than the
back
current
in the
one?
day? No, it's not. You're golden fleecy. I love it.
This is my third batch of hair, my third shearing.
That's a way to put it, huh?
The first one was caused by me deciding to use peroxide to lighten my hair.
Ooh.
And I put it all in my hair, and then I went and sat in the sun for a couple hours. It was a football game, so I knew. And it was really like golden, and then it just kept changing, and then it was breaking off.
Oh.
Right. So there was that. So I cut my hair like really, really short, like total kind of sort of. I had like bangs. What do you call it? A page boy? No, it wasn't quite page boy because it was shorter. Pixie, but longer bang.
Okay.
And that was high school. And then I cut my hair again to go natural. I started locks, and I had locks for a couple years. And life stressed me. A really toxic relationship I was in was stressing me. So much was stressing me. My hair was thinning. You ever see somebody with locks and they're just holding on by some threads?
It always hurts when I see that.
I thought that was from like weight.
It can be. It can be a lot of things when you lock your hair. That can make your hair break off like that. But it was bad. It was like I was like 80% bald. It looked like alopecia.
Wow. Damn.
It was horrible. It was a very transformative period in my life for sure. That's what really got me to start wearing wigs.
Which I love.
Thanks. It was like a thing. It was like, dang, I don't know. That was the beginning of J Mills. Like it was like, yo, fuck it, I'm bald. You gonna be mad? Or just throw a wig on it. The wigs fit so good when I was bald. Oh my gosh, it was seamless. And they were like, whoa, you went from locks and all. I mean, it's amazing how people treat you completely different based on your hair.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Like, what?
Let's talk about that a little bit more.
I'm the same person I was with the locks, but now I got the little Asian bang and to my elbows little wig, and doors were opening that had never opened for me before. It's crazy.
Wow. Hair is real, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
And then, well, you know, clearly I locked my hair again. So it's been like 2 years locking, but I like the wig because it allowed me to really dive into J Mills and allow for a separation of myself, or more so like just to turn on and dive into the entertainer that I am, or that comes with my music when I'm performing it live. So, you know.
I can see that.
Now, Molly, we were talking about your hair transition earlier today. So you used to have this long, bountiful, curly, blonde hair, and you cut your hair, and you have this super swoop now, which I love.
Well, thank you.
But why'd you make the change?
Well, I've had I had dreads for 5 years.
When was that?
Long time ago. 99.
That was a long time ago.
97.
1990. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was back before people got mad about that. So I was in under the radar. But no, I liked my hair because I just wanted to change people's perceptions and like stop judging people based on what they looked. And I was in like high-powered jobs and I handled a lot of money, and I loved dealing with all of the facets of that. And then people would come in and meet me and just be like, "You're a 21-year-old white woman with dreadlocks and you're high right now, I'm pretty sure." And it's like, yep.
Yep.
And I just got you a $250,000 home, and saved your earnest money deposit, So I definitely did it for the challenge of changing people's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just really missed brushing my hair, so I had hair. I don't know. I just cut it all off. I don't know. I had super long, naturally curly hair my whole life, and I just cut it off super short. I don't even look like if you look at pictures from me from like 3 years ago, now I don't even look like the same person.
I know.
It's fun.
Have you felt like changes from people or difference in people's perception or the behavior towards you with the hair change?
I mean, I definitely think that I think people assume a lot about your gender or sexual preference based on like outward cues, which may or may not be accurate, but it's interesting like people's perspective on that. But I mean, for me, it was just really liberating. I get a lot of compliments from women about my hair, and so I really appreciate that. Like anytime like a woman goes out of her way to be like, "Hey, nice hair," it's always like appreciated, especially when it's not like forced or sometimes.
Oh, you can tell.
Yeah, sometimes people just say they like something because they think it's fucking weird, and then other times people are like, "Hey, nice haircut," and you're like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
You mean that shit. So
Yeah.
thank you very much from across the street, ma'am. Fuck yeah. And I appreciate those moments of like interaction with other women. But it's interesting. I don't know. I think it's a good reminder because there's definitely times when I'm like, oh, fuck, what have I done? You know what I mean? I look like a fucking Marine. This is not the look I'm going for. But it's just a good reminder that nobody fucking cares, man. Don't be such a narcissist. People aren't people don't like me any more or less. My business isn't performing any less or better than before. It's a good reminder to not get too hung up on dumb shit like the physical package that you've arrived in. If you're able to show up and get up and your body is working, then fuck a haircut. Challenge yourself every once in a while. It's just hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I love how you get to change your wigs all the time. I feel like people would think I was just batshit crazy if I showed up a different wig every week. But man, I would love to do that. I would change my outfits like you do. I would just totally fucking go with it.
People think I'm batshit crazy.
I mean, but I love that though, man. It's great. It's great.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to
yeah,
interrupt.
no, it's okay.
I was gonna say, on the other hand, I haven't really been as liberated. My story has not been as liberated with my hair and being able to confidently put on a wig. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've bought one wig for Halloween and I didn't ever wear it. I was like, this isn't right for me. And I remember this one day I ran into Johnny's salon. I was almost crying. I was spewing self-hate because it had been too long since I had come to see her and get my hair done, and it just wasn't the way I wanted it to look. And so I was like, I need you to fix this. I look like a nappy-headed slave. I literally ran in there and said that. Right. I'm just being honest. And when I reflect on why is that? Why, as a confident, Black, self-aware, self-loving
Fly-ass woman,
I know, why would I still have this self-hate against my hair? And I have, I grew up in a a lot of homogeneously populated towns where there wasn't a lot of other black hair. There weren't black hairstylists in Western Maryland, you know, or there might be one, you know. It's just really limited, or if they were there, like, I didn't know about them. My mom didn't know about them. So, like, doing my hair was a struggle. My mom's hair is, like, beautiful. It kind of looks like Molly's hair. It's brown, but she blondes it for a long time, and it's curly, and then she'll wear it straight, and it's gorgeous, and I loved it. And she just, like, wasn't exposed to how to do black hair. Like, my mom didn't know how to braid or anything like that, so she did the best as she could. And I basically I can't believe I'm saying this on air. I had like a jerry curl from the time I was a baby until like 6th or 7th grade. And 6th or 7th grade for us, that was like 1994. So it was long after the jerry curl was cool anymore. And people used to like hate on me so bad because I'd be leaving the grease on the window. I was also tall, and so like shorter kids couldn't see behind me. They'd be like, move your afro and stuff like this. So, but whatever, I'm cool now. But like that kind of like came back out of me, and then, you know, working in the hospitality industry, trying to like make some money, get into a fine dining place, like you have to have a certain you have to have a certain look. I don't know if maybe things have changed over the past couple of years with Obama being president, Black Lives Matter and stuff, but definitely like you got to have a certain professional look. And so any kind of dreadlocks, any kind of natural afro, or, you know, that's not the look that they're going for. And I've actually seen people be discriminated against, black women, immigrants, black men, because they didn't have the right look, like be fired from their jobs in the hospitality industry. And so I have this like unreasonable but reasonable fear that like somehow I'm going to be judged if my hair isn't perfect all the time. But over the last like 3 years or so, I've been consciously like trying to break that narrative and get over it, because it's bullshit. And my hair is fabulous and healthy thanks to Johnnie.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and she deals with me talking about this in a space as well. So if you're someone that also has issues with their hair or your self-image, Johnnie is a very patient and understanding person who's always reaffirming the positive. She's always telling me, you look awesome, your hair is fly, you know, your hair is healthy and it's grown. Like, she always puts the positive, and that makes me feel really good and valued.
Well, I'm happy that I make you feel good.
Yes.
That's my job. 90% of my clients are natural anyway. So I do a lot of silk presses, blowouts, lock maintenance, a lot of natural styles. So you have to embrace yourself.
Have you seen what clients want change over the 10 year, or actually how many years now have you been doing hair?
I'm trying to figure it out. It has to be over like 10 years.
So what's been the like different trends that you've seen in your time?
When I first got in the hair salon, it was short pixies, relaxers. I used a lot of relaxers. Everyone, you know, cut their hair real close, really tiny pencil curls and stuff like that. And then after that, it was braids. I did a lot of Marley twist braids. And then it went back to the silk presses. So I barely use relaxers now. Everyone wears their hair natural now.
People aren't trying to put all those chemicals on their hair.
It's like, I can count on my fingers how many people come and get relaxers. Most of the time it's pixie cuts, or some people with my length get relaxers, but not that often. But I can see the difference in the transition of the styles. All I used to do was flips and pencil curls all day, and I loved it. And finger waves and stuff like that. But now it's changed. It's definitely changed.
Finger waves were big in the 20s and 30s.
It was.
Coming
One
back,
of the young ladies
you know?
had the finger wave. She had the little curls.
She did, but the golden hair, she bought the sparkly cat eyes from me too. I was so glad. I was like, those are for her.
Oh, when we went to see Pinky open at Anthem, one of her like friends came, and she had on one of those like flappers bead caps but like all gold, and then she had on like real thin, like wireframed, like oversized glasses, and like a really simple outfit, and like a gold chain, and she was like the coolest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. Shout out to her.
Yes.
Like I loved it. She had no hair either. She just like rocked that shit. It was so
I'm
dope.
so envious of women that can do that.
They go bald.
Yes, like
And
they always have the most beautiful shaped face and
Yeah.
facial features. I'm just like,
And like the combination of the glasses and the beads and the like her whole shit was just on point like spaghetti. I was just like, you're so fucking dope.
queen status.
It
Shout
shows
out
our
to all the
confidence.
stylish women
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Yes, all the stylish femmes.
I like bringing that style back though too. That like 20s era, that more like tailored era. It's such
Oh
a
man,
So many details.
the
Yeah.
evening gloves.
Yes.
That was all of everybody's hands were just moving
cigarette extender.
for no reason.
Yes.
Yes, that and it was just man.
And
yes,
everyone said, darling.
yes, darling, rich laughter. Exactly.
Yes, yes.
Oh man, hair horrors. Gosh, when you were saying that about working at a restaurant, that happened to me. I mean, you know how I wear my curly wigs, and I had this whole flashback about how I had to lie because I didn't want to take the wig off, and they were, you know. I forget that like they didn't know me, you know,
Right.
outside of work. It's like Clark Kent type.
right.
You know, you have no idea what I do when I'm not waiting tables. Waiting
And
tables
let's
by
not
day.
speculate either.
Saving the world by night. Oh man, but yeah, I had the, you know, this beautiful curly, it was like an Ethiopian curl, the tight curl was beautiful, drain. And I had a show later on after after I was getting off. So, you know, I was already ready. I mean, what am I have my wig just in my bag in the back somewhere? I mean, it's gonna be on my head. And they were like, you have to have your hair. My manager came, was like, you have to have your hair in a ponytail. You have to have it neatly brushed back. And I'm like, these curls?
Like, I'm not touching his hair.
Excuse me. It's like you have to have your hair back off your face in a ponytail. And right then, Samantha was walking by, and her hair was just out. She had a headband on, but her hair was out and it's long. I was like, but she doesn't have her hair in a ponytail. She's like, well, Samantha, put your hair in a ponytail. Samantha was mad as shit looking back at me, but you know, she could put her hair in a little messy little bun, little ponytail. And I was like, yeah, well.
Like, our hair resists. Like, I feel like black hair is the resistance of that. Like, it doesn't do that.
I'm like, my hair is not nowhere near as long as hers. I'm not doing this. I'm not about to brush my hair for this.
What'd they do?
They let me stay, but I had to commit to that wig for a reasonable amount of time. And I had to wear that shit every fucking day for like, you know, a reasonable amount of time.
You're like, well, I guess I'm gonna look fabulous again
Every day at work.
day.
I guess it. Damn it, because if I took it off, then she was just gonna be like, you know, come on.
Like,
You
whole
did all of this. You
whole
all
time.
this whole strong black litany and all
Yup.
this stuff, and this was
Whole
it was a
time.
wig.
I love it. I love it.
Come on.
So Johnny, tell us a little bit about like your transition from being a hairstylist, a scientist of hair, to a business owner.
Well, I used to work, you met me at Studio Chic some years ago, and I worked with her for a while, and I was just ready to branch out and do my own thing. So now I'm at Rhode Island Row, and I have my own suite, and it's called Revolution of Haircare.
Awesome.
And I like it.
Hey,
I like
neighbor.
working for myself. Where are you?
I'm across the station at 680 Rhode Island by the Popeyes.
Okay.
In the same shopping center.
Yes. Oh my God.
I need to
Yeah,
come
I
see
took my
you.
son down there to get his hair cut.
Okay.
Yes.
Which shop do you go to? Is it Murano?
Oh my gosh. I don't remember.
Look, I'm saying names.
But it's in the Phoenix.
Yeah, it's in the
Salon
Phoenix
Suite.
Suite.
It's in the Phoenix
I know
Salon
like
Suite.
how to get there.
Okay.
At first when I went, I was looking at all the ones. I feel like I might have saw your face. I might have peeked in there with him
probably did.
looking for a barber.
Well, she definitely check her out because she did my undershave.
Yeah, you say you did
So-
locks and stuff. That's
Yes.
what's up.
So come check me out. I do locks. I do
Yeah.
everything. You come check me out too.
Okay, cool.
I do cuts, color, everything. So I do all types of hair. all types of hair textures.
So Phoenix Salon Suites, Revolution of Haircare. You've been there about 3 years as your own business owner now.
Is it three?
Think so.
I think 3 or
4.
4. 4 years.
Was that 3?
That was
That was not 3.
I think it's been like 4 years.
But you were right
Almost
though.
4
Your hand
years.
was right.
Yeah.
Flag on the play.
It knew. It's like
How many years have you been there doing your own thing?
I think it's been like almost 4 years.
4 years now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
the hand
And
says
I
4.
enjoy it. Businesses, sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down, but you have to constantly promote yourself, you know.
Well, what's been the greatest joy of being an independent small business owner?
I think just freedom.
Yeah.
You set your own schedule. You go and come as you please, you know, and you set your own trend. You set your own, what is it, feng shui inside of the space. And I think that's the best thing. I like, and I like to treat my clients well. So I think that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard you concurring.
Having freedom.
Indeed. Being able to, do shit your own way.
Yeah.
Is important. I think you need to work for other people first to truly know what that is, because otherwise you can be like super naive and you're like, why don't they just do this? And you're like, well, there's actually like 1,700 fucking reasons, you know what I mean?
Right.
But until you're a business owner, you're like, oh,
I get it.
oh, okay,
It's
yeah.
so true.
Yeah, so I think working for other people definitely helps, because then you know. But then being able to set something up yourself.
Yeah,
Like the way you want to.
It's like you get a joy out of it.
Yeah.
It has its perks and it has its pros and it has its cons. But I like
For
it.
sure.
I think I'm high, y'all, but it's okay. I'm enjoying myself. I caught some contact.
Plausible deniability, though. You didn't smoke.
That's right. Because I'm doing a cleanse. I think my stomach is empty, so I was like, ooh, okay, go ahead.
I just want to know, how do you schedule time for self-care? I think as a business owner, that can be a very difficult thing to do.
It is. I'm off. I just had a baby. My baby's 7 months old.
Wow.
And
Okay,
She's so beautiful.
I'm getting my life together slowly. Okay. But I take off. Well, Sunday and Mondays are my days off, and then every other Wednesday I'm off. So I try to take up time with my baby, and then take up time for myself. Go get my nails and my feet done. May go get a facial. You know, you have to have time for yourself.
Yeah.
What do they call it? What's that day that they call? Is it Mental Health Day? Or
Mental health day.
I think
Any day you want it to be.
Yeah.
Every day should be mental health
Yeah,
day.
get your life together day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or eat a lot of chocolate day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes they look like the same day.
And so having freedom, flexibility, and be able to do things your very own way, put your own branding and service on it. Those are some of your joys.
Yes.
What have been some of the most difficult aspects of starting a business?
I mean, I guess just branding yourself and promoting yourself and getting your clientele to a certain point where you can afford to work for yourself and can afford the space. So sometimes that could be, that could take a lot out of you, because you got to constantly, as a business owner, you have to constantly keep your business going or you will go out of business. Right. So you got to promote yourself and stay relevant. And I have to take hair classes so I can stay relevant within, with color, weaves. Now they got the wigs. People are making wigs now, so I'm about to take a class for that. So you have to just stay relevant, and the hair business is constantly changing. Mm-hmm. It's constantly changing every day. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say, Jay, as a owner of the J Suite and doing cannabis entrepreneurial education endeavors? Like, what's been some of the challenges of running your space?
Oh man, being a venue owner is a very interesting perspective after having been the renter for the 12 years that I've been putting on events. And I think about every single event I've ever thrown that I may have smoked in or around or had more people than I thought were gonna come. Like any rule I've ever broken,
on
any
purpose
person
or by accident,
right? Without an ID that I was like, I get you in this joint. Any rule I've broken, and I look at people and things that happen in that regard. As with teaching classes, all the school I skipped, all the work I didn't do, all the things. I think of all the things, and it gives me patience and foresight, and passion to keep going. You know, I always try and live by the mantra that, you know, you hate the things you can't hate, you can find the things you hate are things that you can find within yourself. So, you know, as things bother me, or, you know, with every learning experience, I just stop and reflect on that same pain I may have caused another and try and keep learning and evolving. You know, with shout outs to Howard University. Whoop whoop, HU. No. And their School of B for the classes that I've taken in business management, business communication, marketing, entrepreneurship, accounting, human resources, behavioral sciences, like with understanding how people work. As you can be a good boss or not, you know. Successful businesses have both good and bad bosses, quote unquote. You know, people love them. Sometimes they fear them. Sometimes they just respect them. Sometimes they just want the money. That's it. It's just a job, you know. So, and being a job provider and being a service giver, just always coming from a humble point of view. Like, give the service you want to get, you know. Be the venue that you wanted to be at. Don't be janky, you know. Be great. And when you see those that aren't, or, you know, whatever, stay on top of your human resources. You know, really be about that with your mission statement. You know, when people are carrying out your brand or working in your business, they are reflections of you. Period. Point blank. So just learning in that professional aspect of the company that you keep at all times, you know. That's been my up and my down at the same time.
So I hear y'all talking about taking classes, you know, both of you, getting yourself educated, staying aware with what's going on with the trends, being the type of space or the type of service that you want to receive, getting those initial first spaces. For people that have a dream of starting their own business, who are watching, but, you know, are in that phase of struggling to acquire monetary funds to create the kind of dope, not janky space that they want to do, or to take the extra classes to like get started in that. What words of advice might you give those type of folks?
Legally?
Yeah, legally.
I don't know what to tell you.
Or abstractly.
Work a job and save. It's like, no, I'm kidding.
Oh, no, real talk.
I mean, save your money.
So
yeah,
I would
saving.
say,
Yeah, saving
I mean,
is key.
I've never saved shit. I mean, that would be awesome. But no, every dollar I've ever made has gone to One Love. Like, since I decided to make One Love the mission, like every dollar I've ever made has gone to One Love.
But you had to save it, like, you know, to get this space. At some point, you gotta kind of accumulate.
No, I've never done anything the proper way. Like, I didn't plan on getting a building until I got a phone call that this one existed, and I came in here and I got goosebumps, and I saw the Howard Theater, and I knew that I was supposed to make history in this building, and I got tunnel vision, and I talked my way into the owner giving me a lease. And I beat out 10 other proposals just simply because he liked me, and he's got his start in radio, and he saw my vision, and I was able to convince him enough of that. And I had good referrals that he actually called and had 45-minute long conversations with each one of them about who I am and my character. And he never even pulled my credit. So, like, you know, you can get anything you want. And I've always just bit off way more than I can chew. And then afterwards been like, oh, fuck, like, what have I just done? But then I'm in it, you know. I don't recommend that to everyone, but I feel like if you wait around for the perfect time to do things, like, it's never gonna happen. And so I'm a big fan of use what you have. Like, I built a lot of One Love off of like working really hard and stickers. Like, those fucking stickers are the reason why so many people know about One Love or know the name. And I've printed almost 200,000 of those, if not more, in the last 4 years, and they're literally all over the world. And so I like used whatever resource I had. I used whatever connection I had. I used my living room as an office. I have a friend who gets free office furniture. Like, I did everything with no funding and no money and no real clue what I was doing. I just knew that I didn't want to continue to be a part of the problem, and I wanted to be part of the solution in a grander scale. And so I was willing to, and I'm still willing to invest everything that I have. But I never had any money. I didn't have any funding. I didn't. Now, I've had some friends, you know, shout out to them who like stepped up and were like, yo, you're about to do some shit. Like, I can loan you $6,000 or $7,000. I can help you get this lease. I can help you do that. You know, so without them, for sure, you know, I wouldn't have been able to get things done. But that's just really recently with the brick and mortar. Everything else has just been, you know, manifesting, working really hard, and being willing to adapt, and not having like a really fixed idea of what One Love Massive was, and just being able to like know like what I wanted to accomplish was to support artists and musicians, you know, in DC. And that's always been my goal. And so the company has changed quite a bit. I mean, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have been super stoked if you're like, you're going to own a recording studio and a podcast studio and a live music stage across the street from the Howard. Like, I mean, you know, I would believe you, but I'd be really fucking happy to hear that like 10 years ago. So yeah, that I think like ignorance is fucking bliss, man. I think a lot of business owners will tell you like, if they knew, like restaurateurs, like if they knew what they know now, like going into their first restaurant, they might not have done it.
Yeah.
But they'll do it again, you know what I mean? They're willing. Like, you go through boot camp and you're like, fuck it, I'm still alive. Let's do it again. I'll get it even, you know, better the next time out. But it definitely takes a certain type of sociopath to be able to do that over and over again. But
Yeah, no, I agree too. I started Tiger Swan, and I didn't save for it. I just got burnt out of another job and was like, I have to make a change. And so luckily I got burnt out from that job by never taking a vacation or any paid time off. So when I left, I got paid out for that, and that first initial couple $1,000s is what enabled me to basically just take a road trip and acquire some really dope vintage across New England and bring it back. And then I set up in my basement. I'm privileged to have a basement that has a carpet on it, you know, so, and we painted it. But then I went to IKEA. I got two $12 racks. Hung those clothes up, you know, according to color and size. And then, you know, a month later, I got one dress form for $50. And then I started taking pictures of different outfits on that dress form. And then I'd go to an event and take that $24 worth of that rack with those couple $100 worth of clothes or $1,000 worth of clothes and do a pop-up. And people are like, you need to have a business card. So then I spent $25 and got some business cards, like little by little, step by step. And I just kept doing it. And now I have an out of control collection. I have a small but regular client base. I have an Instagram. I have a website that I built this year, and I'm still working on creating that. The website is a revenue stream. Yeah, I'm going to be working. Right, but I'm just doing it kind of organically and naturally with what I have, and I don't even have a business plan or anything like that, right? I know I need one. But I'm still in that experimental phase of trying to figure out what works, you know, within my time frame and my personal goals. But, you know, the other thing I heard you mention was you had a community of people that believed in your vision. You were able to articulate exactly what One Love Massive is, what you wanted to do, and people got excited about that. They saw your hard work, they saw your talent, like over X amount of time, and then someone gave you a couple $1,000s, you know, and that's important too. I think, you know, even if you don't have that hard-earned savings like Jay and Johnny, or I don't know about Jay, how you
It was earned. It was earned savings.
I earned it the good old-fashioned way.
Right.
The American way.
The American way.
Which means she killed someone.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, if you don't have that, savings or whatever, don't just give up on your dream. Keep going. Write your ideas down on paper.
Exactly.
Start talking about it.
Talk about it.
It manifests. Start telling other people about it. Someone will have an idea for you, or they'll have a skill set that maybe isn't your strength, and they might want to help you, and you just keep building and, don't give up. It might take 10 years.
That's right.
Might take 20 years, but if you want it badly enough, you're going to get it.
Exactly.
Right. Yes.
And don't talk about what you're gonna do.
Just do it.
Talk
Talk about what you are doing.
and talk about what you want to do with the right people that can help elevate you to get there. But don't talk about what you're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just do that shit, man. Talk to the right people about it.
Yeah.
I agree.
But also make time for self-care, because it's a rough world out there. And
Amen.
sometimes, we're our own greatest enemy. We're our own biggest blockade to getting our dreams done, because we be getting swelled up in the head and forgetting our greatness. So I'm excited later in the show to get metaphysical, because that is always
Blah,
a
blah,
great
blah.
uplifter.
Yeah.
But before we do that, I want to talk about Johnnie a little bit more, because yes, she's an amazing hairstylist. And by the way, if you want to book an appointment with her, where can people find you?
You can find me at styleseat.com/JohnnieDempsey2, and that's styleseat.com/JohnnieDempsey2. I just did a commercial, y'all.
Yes,
Bam.
you did.
You have a great radio voice.
She
Thank
does.
you.
And that's Johnnie Dempsey. It's JohnNnie Dempsey, DEMPSEY 2. And you can probably see the spelling of her name on the actual podcast promo. So
Yes.
just for your
all the
your
links and
spelling.
everything is there.
Yes.
All of the links.
Styleseat.com/JohnnieDempsey2. Check her out. You can see more pictures of her hair. If you're just tuning in now, you may have missed the slide, but more of her great works are on there. So
Maybe they'll get a real live update. Maybe I'll go see you and then be
Yes.
back on the show. And you
Yes,
guys
ma'am.
can
Come see me.
my
Trust
roots.
us.
Not anymore, hopefully.
I need to come back and see you soon too. So, but little we haven't shared about you. You are an incredible artist. You
Yes.
are a female rapper here
Yes.
locally in the DMV.
Hey.
Hey, right?
Yes.
So, what's your hip hop queen name?
Well, they called me Mahoganyist back then, and as I went on, one of my friends nicknamed me Mona Flosa. So I go by Mahoganyist / Mona Flosa.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did it. I was rapping for years. I'm just getting back into it, and I don't know why I stopped, but I'm back into it. That's one of my passions, and I know that I'm gonna do great things for next year.
You got to come on the lab. We have a cypher
Yes.
show, and it's like 3 guests. It's really dope, and Jason runs it. We'll connect you downstairs. You should come to it.
Oh, I will. I
Yeah.
will. I'm excited.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So tell us, about how you started rapping. What was your inspiration? You said you also went to school with like Pinky Killer Corn,
Yes.
like back in the day. So
We went to elementary school together.
Oh my goodness.
Pink dog.
Pinky. Yeah, we called her Pinky since elementary school. I think first, second grade. I guess because she's so pink. I mean, I don't know. I think that was a family name. So
I think
everyone went
so.
by Pinky. Yeah, everybody went by Pinky. Yeah. I don't even think I know her real name because we called her Pinky all the time.
Lanita.
Okay. See, I didn't even.
I didn't know that.
And I knew her since elementary school. But I know they called her Pink Dog, and then yeah.
So, like, were you rapping in elementary school? Were you starting your flow then? Like, when
Yeah.
did Mahoganyist Mona Flosa
When I was in
become?
elementary school, I used to listen to Face Mob, Nas, and Little Kim and Foxy, and I grew up listening to them because I'm the youngest, and all my siblings are like older than me. So I used to go in their room, sneak, and listen to their music, and I started writing from their music. I started off doing poetry, and then from poetry, I started writing my own music, and that's when I realized, I want to rap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to rap. So that's when I linked up with this guy named Bill Gray, who owns Karum Records, and we did a whole album, and it was Grammy. It was 50 annual Grammy nominated. It wasn't nominated, but it was in the slots for nomination.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
What year was that?
I think that was like 05. That was some years ago.
You're ready, huh?
I'm back and I'm ready. I was like, I wish I never, stopped. I took some downtime. I went through some things and I was like, I need to take time to myself. But now I'm ready.
Don't have any regret because that time is only gonna make you a better artist. It's only gonna make your words that much more impactful because you've been through some things.
Oh yeah, it's time. Because I've been writing lately, and I wrote a 3 songs in 2 days because I'm coming from my heart when I'm writing. So I'm definitely ready to come back. But to see Pinky doing her thing, I'm excited for her.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Yeah, she's a beast. So just to see her and somebody I actually grew up with. Because, I was doing it before I opened up for Twista and Nina Sky in 2004. I actually had my own fitting room. I was backstage with Twista. Do y'all remember Twista?
Yeah, of course.
Do y'all remember Nina Sky?
Of course.
Yep. So, that was dope. So to see her doing it, I'm like, I want to see her just get out there. And I'm like, I'm right behind you, Pinky. I'm going to come out there with you. But I just want us to uplift each other as artists, DMVRs. I don't feel like we do that a lot.
Yeah, well, that's what we're here for. That's what One Love does is connect everybody. So work together instead of, against each other.
Yes. I'm excited.
So we actually have a clip, a 45-second clip of Mahogany's Shake It Up from, this was 2005, 2004.
Yes.
Can we roll this?
I'm just the best, I'm a pimped out chick for life. Y'all think I play me right? I play that joker twice. When I step up in the club, I shake my bum bum, and all them dudes up in the cut trying to get them some. I'm quick to come with the hatness street chick. When you roll with me, they ain't seen it, but I just came to have fun and move my body up on the dance floor. I came to party, drink Bacardi in the cut, VIP trick, and all you girls faking, bow down to this, put crowns on this, cause we the #1 rap label, but we just came to shake, not dance on tables. What?
And we're back.
Oh, no, I can't do it yet. Okay.
WKRP in Washington, D.C.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, I can do something.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
We got the quick
You can love me or hate me. Oh, okay, let's start over. Hold on. You can love me or hate me because haters, they never win. Winners, they never lose. And losers, they just pretend like they something that they trying to be. It's you who they ought to be. You bras hating on me. You making yourself a mockery. It's honestly genetics. I'm flying. You just pathetic. The tip of the day is you hoes to stop being threatened. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I'll fight to the death of it. You want to keep testing. I'm going to show you who the best in it is. Definite the top off. Please never a knockoff. I'm sick of all these phonies fronting. They just a jump off. I showed you at the end of the day who gonna run it. At the end of the day, I'ma show you who gonna run it. No doubt, it ain't nothing new. I'm about to show you who. About to shut it down. No introductions, boo. Cause I'm the wicked, wicked chick of the East. And I got my peeps telling me that I'm a beast.
Oh.
Messed up a little bit, but.
Oh, no. That's amazing.
Got tongue tied there, but yes, that's some how I
Well,
flow.
yeah, I didn't know. I would have never known.
Yeah.
That's the tightness.
Yes.
That's so exciting. I think you're our first freestyle on the show.
Yeah.
We definitely gotta, yes.
Jay. Jay Mills.
You freestyle, Jay
Second
Mills?
freestyle on the show.
Wait. You keep using this word. You use this word freestyle. Is it that you want to freestyle?
No, I don't want to freestyle. It'll end the show terribly.
Spit 16.
Sure. Only if you want to, J Mills.
My eyes wide, never sleeping on a snake in the grass. The green eyes always ask, how much more can I last? And I surpass every task I'll do. Underestimates, rhymes on my testaments. I'm better than the rest of them. Doper than the most of them. Flows got you opening doors, never closing, cause I'm coming in a caravan. Every single way I am, every single way I stand. Hot, quick spitters keep the fire like the Taliban. Block sick niggas like I'm filing them reported spam. Call it like I see it, man. Industry referee in the streets, catching peeps, frontin' like they got that beef. Me, I'm grade A blue. They just chicken stew. Never will they get at you. Hating when you make a move. Petty individuals that follow me like gumshoes. But they some dumb fools. Get with blames. We be the ones who's coming for this hip hop game. We big trouble.
That just gave me some life.
That's right. Excellent job, ladies. Excellent job.
That's so tight. I'm inspired, but I'm not gonna drop any bars right now because the show is about y'all today. So that was ill. I was feeling I mean, not to compare y'all, but I was feeling a little bit of that like Cardi B energy, that like I'm just telling you like it is. This is how I feel. A little bit of aggression, you know, and I like that. Of course, J Mill's got the like sexy kind of undertone in there.
I like that.
But, you know, that was ill. Two different styles. Tell me a little bit about what it was like 10 years ago, having a strong, semi-aggressive kind of flow. Like as a woman in the hip hop industry, did you find that there was space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if I would have came out then, it was definitely more space than it is now. I feel like we could still do it. I feel like it's not a lot of female rappers out here. I feel like it's more males. So I feel like we need to make room for each other. That's how I feel. But back then when I used to go to open mics or battle and stuff, I was really girly like I am now. And they'll be looking like, what's she about to do? Sing? And I'll rap or I'll battle. And they'll be like, oh, wow, when they heard me rap. So, yeah.
I love
like
doing that.
Yeah.
Mills, kills, and heals.
Yeah, when you cute, they be like, when you dress all cute, they don't know what you about to do. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I love your flow. It's super tight.
Thank you.
I'm excited for you to continue expressing yourself and getting back out there and getting that Grammy nomination.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
What are your goals for 2018 for Mona Flosa?
My goals is to make a really hot single and to get known everywhere. I want people to know who I am. I feel like it's time for me to tell my story and tell people who I am and show people who I am. Because I feel like I've been hitting for so long. I've been trying to do it for a long time, but now I'm finally getting with the right people. So it's time to get out there. And getting with you guys are the right people too, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Things
an
happen
exciting
for a reason.
time. Yes.
Indeed.
Yes. Awesome. Well, I think it is. Oh, tell people where can they find some of your music, or where should they be looking to follow your story?
I know it's on. I know a lot of my stuff is still on iTunes, like the old stuff I did in the past. You can look me up, Mahoganyst, MOHOGANISE. If you just look me up, I think everything will pop up. I just don't keep it. But yeah, yeah. If you look up Mahoganyst, things will pop up on iTunes, SoundCloud, and stuff like that. I think that's where a lot of my old stuff is.
Cool.
Yeah, but 2018, I'm trying to bring out a hot single.
Hot single.
J Mills, do you want to get on it? What do you want to do?
Hell yeah.
I think all female rappers should just like how they got the new song out with Lil' Kim and Remy. It's like it's hot.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
love that song.
Yeah, I like it. It's really hot.
I'm all about
Ready
that.
for the female rappers to just come out here and show these dudes
collab.
that we the
Well, we
we
got
a
a
beast.
studio right here.
I haven't done a song with Pinky yet, but that's definitely on my bucket list.
Oh yeah.
And Risa.
Right, and Risa, that would be so sick. Oh my gosh, I would love for us to just be like locked in the studio with some dope ass beats or band or something and just
We can make it happen. There's one literally right there.
create and just see what happens.
I got the keys.
Yeah, I love collabing with lady rappers. I really feel like DC is as a musical scene is very is a paradigm shifter. Is a reason
100%.
why when it comes to hip hop, DC was skipped.
Yeah.
Philly, Baltimore, even, you know, like they're careful with who they choose to represent DC.
Yeah, it's true.
Rap, which is crazy because you have artists like Odyssey or Kev Brown, you know, who have been known for years and travel the whole world. Kokai. You know, even Maimuna, a lot of people like they think of her as a singer and she's an ill ass rapper. Oh my gosh. And she's on tour all over the world performing. Like, we have amazing talent here.
We do.
Shout outs to XO and YU and Diamond District and the work that they were doing. And even still now with a lot of these rappers that are coming
Nappy
up.
Nappa, Sir EU.
JIDK, you know, but they'll let Wale, Shy Glizzy, Fat Trail be the voice of the district.
Gold Link.
Light Show.
Right.
Which I like all of them.
Yeah, I do too.
That's cool. There's so many
There's a
dope
lot.
ass female rappers in DC that have been dope and
Yeah.
are like known Ra, Pinky.
Yeah.
Shout outs to also I already named Maimuna, but Imani Fela, she moved over to LA, but she's doing big things over there. You have Empress, we were talking about her for the photography and all that. She a dope rapper as well.
Terica Jane.
Yes, Terica June. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Millions of views on her videos.
Yes.
I met her at South by Southwest like 3 years ago.
And
out there by herself grinding, making it work.
So for now us to have a industry where for so long it was just Nicki, really, and now there's Nicki and Cardi. That's all that we've had to represent all of women, period. Hip hop has a Kendrick and it has a Chief Keef and it has a J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it is a purposeful and very sinister thing that is being done in terms of the limitation of the black female representation in hip hop music. It's purposeful.
Well, and I was having this conversation with my husband the other day too, because of the new Remy Ma and Lil Kim song, and I was like, you know what? If I was Lil Kim, I'd be telling people to pay homage too. And he was like, yeah, but she has been like out of the game for a long time and came back with plastic surgery. I was like, so, and what? I was like, she was one of the very first like female rappers to like just say whatever the F she wanted to, how she wanted to, and like put it out there and paved the way for Nicki Minaj and a Cardi B and a Jungle Pussy. And I was like,
Jungle Pussy is the real artist?
Yes, and she's hella dope. Definitely check her out. And she's a rapper from New York City. I learned about her watching Insecure. Like, they feature her music on the show. I was like, what is this? Yeah, she's tight. Anyway, and I was just like, when there's all the lists, greatest rappers of all time, GOAT or whatever, hardly ever is a female rapper like listed on there. Maybe sometimes Lauryn Hill, but like very rarely. And then also, I don't know how often the female rappers or artists that are out there that they actually in their music do pay homage to the ones that they stand on their shoulders. But like, you can hear a bunch of songs where Biggie and Tupac and even Kendrick Lamar right now, like, people pay homage to them all the time and respect them and light them up, as they should, because they're the illest and amazing. But who is doing that for Queen Latifah and Lil' Kim? Like, there was just, I think it was.
Do you listen to Rhapsody?
Yes. And I love her. Shout out to Rhapsody. Okay. So that's one though.
Do you listen to Jean Grey?
Not for a long time.
She hasn't made music in a while, but not that long ago, she did drop something. I'm trying to think of who else. 3D, Nati. She dope as hell. And she definitely isn't denying who inspired her. I don't know why Nicki started off like trying to act like she didn't have any influence by Lil' Kim when she literally posed exactly like her in
Blue
her
hair,
promo photos.
green
And
hair.
you call yourself a Barbie. Like, everything that she did was so cookie cutter. It's like she picked up where Kim left off and was like, I'm exactly down to even remixing Biggie joints and flowing like that. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that,
But
like,
show respect when respect is due. Like,
Kim influenced me so much in so many. She influenced everybody.
She definitely
everybody.
Style.
She changed
sexuality.
Owning her sex appeal. Like, she was like, yeah, no, I'm the pimp. What? You ain't licking this? You ain't. She made me demand head. Like, no, I don't want dick tonight.
Eat my pussy, right?
What? That was such a foreign. I was like, oh shit.
That's
what
my
is
favorite
this?
song.
Like, not only they're supposed to be licking this, but you ain't licking this. You ain't sticking this. I got witnesses. Ask any nigga I've been with. They ain't hit shit till they stick their tongue in this. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like, what?
Yes.
That's so.
It's really powerful.
What?
It's
Demand.
really powerful.
It is my right. You are about to. The shit I mean, you're gonna eat my pussy.
Yes.
Well.
well.
Gonna do it, and that Kim
Drink
did
that.
that. Yo,
Respect.
like
Respect to
I was the
Lil'
main
Kim.
one saying that. I was like, she took her style and ran with it, but not showing her, paying her, showing any respect to her. So that's
Yeah.
why Lil' Kim coming back like, look, let me tell you something.
That's why I was like, I would have this song out too.
Yeah.
But
at the same time, I do think that, like, that you have to allow people to stand on your shoulders. You have to allow people
Absolutely.
to grow on top. And earlier today I was talking with some other friends, and we were talking about Jay-Z and how everybody that came up, name a rapper, Jay-Z's worked with them. He's never been like, forget Lil Wayne, forget Drake, no, he got songs with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. He like, he shows props, so that's to, I guess, circle back to what's different about the DC area when it comes to the camaraderie that exists between the female rappers, how we work together, how we actually legit know each other. I haven't known Pinky since elementary, but I have known her for over a decade, just from being in this scene this long. Same with Rada MC, years and years. It's very organic, the bonds that we have. And from the outside, it's something that is new, because nobody be doing music with other people that's from different camps like that.
Yeah.
Everybody just collabs within the same organization. But with the women, the female rappers, y'all, yeah, I'm all about that work. We perform on the same bill and all this stuff. Yo, shout outs to the female love energy that's going on. Yo, shout outs to Pinky, shout outs to Risa. Shout outs to Empress, my girl Maria, poster girl. Shout outs to M Shy. I know she writes now, but she's still a huge influence on me. It's a blessing to be a fan of your peers.
Right?
Shout outs to the Harlem Renaissance again. Like, that's why this is the Renaissance again, because we are surrounded by so much greatness. We know artists and like fashion designers, boutique owners, casually, just casually. It's like,
it's a beautiful thing.
I mean, everybody's got to be doing something these days, though. Like, everyone has got to be doing something. Like, it's too expensive to live, not to be hustling.
Do something. Be the best something that you can be.
And that's also like the energy of the East Coast, I feel like, and I love it. I know, like, I was talking to Chris the other day about this too. I was like, would we ever leave DC? Because I'm born and raised in the DMV in this area, and I love it so much, and I love that super hustle energy. I love the seasons changing. I love the closeness, like, of all the cities and the transients and like the highways and just the energy that comes with it. I love the being in DC, and like, people are about their business. They're about their shit, and they're not sorry about it, and they're aggressive. And, I hear it's just like real different energy on the West Coast, and that's beautiful in its own right. But I'm like, I kind of like being on the grimy, like, East Coast.
Fast talkers. Get shit done. I want to either be here, like, getting shit done, or I want to be, like, on a beach doing absolutely
nothing. Right?
Yeah. Like, it's coming sometime this week.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
So, play hard, work hard. Or, I guess, play real relaxing.
I just had a flashback to being in Jamaica when you said that, man. That was great.
Yeah.
On the naked beach, on the naked island.
Was that common, or was it just like a specific?
Did you get naked?
It's like specific beach that you guys.
Yeah, I was at Couples Resort, and they had a private island.
Were you totally naked?
I was completely.
Did you get sunburned in places you didn't know possible?
No, Molly.
This wasn't your first naked experience.
Well, Molly, it takes a whole lot of sun for me to get burned.
Oh, well, true that. You didn't get sun sensitive in any areas. I mean,
nah. There was a pool and a beach, so I just kind of lounged about. I got in the water. It was a swim up bar, and
do you feel like liberated and like happy, or were you kind of like,
I
this is a
almost
little
never came back?
Okay,
I was about to say, you're gonna have to get naked to find me. Actually, why do we wear clothes?
Because they're super
why clothes?
fly.
But
they're awesome.
I mean, their clothes are overrated. It was just, I guess it wasn't hedonism's naked island. I'm sure that there are other places in Jamaica that if everyone was naked, it wouldn't be that nobody was having sex. It was just people were naked. It is true that there's some very interesting bodies, but there are also some very beautiful bodies. They were all time. I don't want to say very beautiful, but because I think I'm beautiful and I'm not in shape at all. At first, I was like, oh my God. I wasn't freshly sheared, as sheared as I believe I needed to be out there like that. But then I saw others and I was like,
right.
Let it hang all out.
Well, damn, let me just go ahead and take all my clothes off because nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody's looking. Everybody's looking in your eyes when they talk to you. Nobody was weird. We were just laying on this deserted island, but for some naked people and the sun.
I feel like I would just be like staring at everyone, like up and
weird.
down. You know, I'd just
you can
be
do
like,
that from a distance, but when you're talking to them, you don't have to because you already saw everything that you wanted to possibly see. So yeah, there's nothing to. By the time you get up here, it's like, hey, all right. I've been staring at your titties from,
I know.
Looking.
I'll be staring.
I don't know.
Especially if they have a big old thing, I'll be just looking at it all the time.
Unfortunately, there was none of that.
Oh, okay.
Not really. Although I was in the pool, and where I was just chilling, minding my business, taking a drink, and it was this guy's birthday, and they called him over. And he was tall, and like I'm down in the pool and he's standing like right over me talking, and he kept saying stuff that was funny or weird and made me want to look up, but I was just, it was, oh God, it was just right
Every
there.
time he
And
like genitalia is not like pretty,
No.
So yeah, that
No. There were no really big ones.
It's like looking at the underside of a Jello mold. You don't really.
You don't want to
at
see
the
that.
nude beach.
You don't need to see that.
Now, a lot of people there don't wear undergarments. Like women don't wear bras, men don't wear underwear.
And that's just like
I purposely did not wear a bra for the last 24 hours. I purposely left my house and came to work 2 days in a row without a bra on.
Yeah.
I also haven't taken this hoodie off, but it starts small.
In America, I can't go braless in public.
No.
I may think, I'm just going. No. They want to go everywhere. So, no. And people care here about that, So, wear bra in America. Jamaica, no problem.
Right.
So yeah, a lot like that was just something, but nobody really cared. You could wear one or not, but I wasn't prepared for the men without underwear. Now, yeah, not at the nude beach, but just walking down the street, going when I got some jerk chicken. Was looking at keychains, and I just can't.
Yes, it's everywhere.
I was like, Jesus Christ, somebody's grandfather. Get him. That's what I really think about the most because, man, it was quite a visual. And I think with age, gravity had to have.
Oh, I'd be uncomfortable.
It was
like I feel uncomfortable right now.
Large.
And like you put your hand down on a seat and you're like, oh, there was probably balls there like less than 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Balls all over everything.
It's like that gotta be uncomfortable. Like it has to chafe or like sprain or something.
Okay, so this is where my brain went weirdly because that's who I am. But I just wonder, because if people are more like, abundant, showing their abundance freely in Jamaica, and it isn't a thing, like, is there less sexual harassment and assault, because it's, whereas like here we're restricted, so people are like frustrated or something. I'm curious, like.
Yeah, like the first time I went, they kept having to reassure me, but I will say, big ups to the whole West Indian Massive because the women do have a certain aggression and so do the men. So you gotta kind of know how to say no, but it's not like a they're going to turn to northerners. I do think that the coldness makes many men more barbaric. They just don't know how to act when the skins come out because they spend half the year with our legs covered and we're so covered. They literally be like, oh, skin, shorts, skirts, titties,
yeah.
God, but like in Miami, it's getting kind of tropical down there. You could, totally walk around with your two-piece, your bikini top on.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not getting raped or harassed unless they're northerners down there. And then they bring that activity and that, hey, yo, ma, hey, well then fuck you then. Like,
what is that about?
That's some northern shit. Like, that never has that ever happened. Excuse me, sweetheart. The South is very nice. Hey, you look beautiful. Well, all right, well, you have a good evening then. They are, but Southern men are kind of aggressive, if you will. Very persistent, I would say. Not aggressive, persistent. And yeah, Jamaican men, persistent. Empress. Oh, yeah, all that. But, they're very respectful, totally respectful. And yeah, the first time I went, didn't wear a bra. It was very liberating. Very liberating. No one cared.
Dope.
No one stared.
No one glared. So with that, we're gonna transition from business shout out. One more shout out to Revolution of Haircare.
Yes.
Revolution of Haircare at the Phoenix Suites over there by the Rhode Island Avenue Metro, where you can get your do redid or whatever you want, really, by the fabulous Johnnie Dempsey. You can book her at www.styleseat.com/Johnnie Dempsey 2. What? Other organization I wanted to shout out today. If you ladies have shout outs too, now would be the time. But other organization I wanted to shout out today, because I care about government, politics, organizing, women's rights, Black people's rights, all of that, healthcare. I want to give a shout out to Moms Rising. They're a nonprofit organization, national organization. They're here in DC. And the reason I want to shout them out is because they have been hustling this week. They have been mobilizing all kinds of people, moms, to the Capitol building to say, basically, like, fuck you, Trump, this healthcare, this tax bill gutting of our healthcare and college, all this stuff is not good for working families. And I've been getting their texts, their email petitions. So they're one of the groups representing women's interests across the board who are working really hard to stand up and, just keep it pushing. Just because this bill has gone through, it doesn't mean that it's permanent. There's always something that we can do as citizens to resist, to show other proposals, to get people out of office who aren't serving our interests. And so they're one of the groups who is really actively responding to the recent tax bill. So fuck you very much, Trump. And that is momsrising.org.
Nice.
Momsrising.org. You can check them out, donate, see when they're marching again, and join. I think actually tomorrow at 10 a.m. they're marching on the Hill again. So check them out. Do you ladies have other businesses you want to shout out?
I do. It's not a small business. It's a government organization, but the Community of Hope over in Anacostia on Atlantic Street. It's a healthcare facility, and they're just awesome there. They're really awesome there. I had to go see them this week, and they're great. They were super responsive. I called them 5 minutes after their office opened, and I had an appointment 25 minutes later.
Awesome.
Yeah. And they genuinely cared and took care of me when I got there, and were very reassuring and provided top-notch health. So much love to DC healthcare systems for having great people working there. It's very reassuring.
It is really reassuring. Shout out to Community of Hope.
Yeah, what a great name. I mean,
it is.
But that's setting the bar kind of high.
No, that's really important. I'm glad that you shout them out, and I know we've highlighted other smaller community health places before, And it's important, because hospitals are closing in DC and getting smaller. And so there needs to be affordable, accessible, quality places
sure.
where people can go and get help. And so that's great. Community of Hope.
Community of Hope.
Southeast.
Yep.
Doing the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, with that, let's hand it over to Mills to close us out with another metaphysical
I'm taking
moment.
my headphones off.
Snap, 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 snap.
They're messing up my metaphysical flow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You want me deeper in your ear hole? Sorry.
Sure.
Sorry. Something about that word. Ear hole. Anyway. Shout outs to all these boss ladies in the building. I was thinking that the metaphysical message was going to be about walking on water. I was thinking, I was speaking earlier, a metaphor that really gives me a lot of life. It's kind of tied into the alchemist. In when you are a person who has a dream that you remember, you are unique, and you owe the universe the right to try, the right to do, I should say, the right to take that dream and make a plan and make it real, because everybody doesn't remember their dreams. Everybody doesn't have dreams that they remember. Everybody was a child at one point, sure, and you see a child at the age of 2, they want to do everything. They have this crazy imagination. No child wants to spend their life living in someone else's dream, but somehow along the way, people lose their dream. People's dreams die. People tell them that their dreams can't come true. But if you are a person who remembers your dreams, you are going to live a very interesting life. And if you choose to actually follow your dreams, because some people remember them, but they haunt them. The what if, the I used to, I was really good at one point in time I did, and now I wonder what. They remember their dream, but they didn't actually try to make it happen. Take that step and believe in it. Share, tell somebody about it. Work, build that plan, and make that dream come true. You got a little beginner's luck when you first start living out your dream, just to show you that, yeah, you were listening to the universe, and the universe heard you. Things fall into place, but then afterwards, you'll spend the rest of your life proving to the universe how much you believe in that thing that only you can see. That's where the walking on water comes in. It is doing the impossible. You are walking by faith, something that is not real to anybody else but you. And no one can ever see anything else through your eyes. So it is imperative that you believe in your whole self as much as you possibly can every day, to keep that faith that you are walking on water. You're doing the impossible. You look down and you start to sink. You got to look up. It's impossible. When there is no explanation why, when there's no reason why, when you're doing the absolute irrational, and if you start to actually tell people about your dream, they'll tell you that it's a dream, it's foolish, it's crazy, it's impossible, all of these different things, because it's your dream, not theirs. Your walk, not theirs. You, your faith. Gotta keep your eyes on your faith, on your dreams. Make your dreams real. Write them down. Make a plan. Make it happen. Keep growing. Keep shining. And keep remembering that it is a lonely world. When you a boss, you don't call in, you call off. That's the difference. You are not replaceable. Until you train your understudy and plan for your business exit. It is real as a boss at the top, as the decision maker and the delegator of all tasks. We gotta keep the faith. Take time for self-care to connect with that still small voice that tells you that this is your dream. You are living the dream. Your soul is happy. Shout outs to all the bosses. Shout outs to all the dreamers. That's my metaphysical message. Oh, and shout outs to, whatever this is.
Shout out to our sponsors, Weed.
Thank you, Weed.
Yes. Well, thank you, Johnny, for joining us on today's show. It's really exciting getting to know you more, and we're excited to see this future collaboration. Molly, thank you for hosting us once again at the one and only One Love Massive Creative Factory. And thank you to the AV Club,
Blah, blah, blah.
who makes everything awesome and possible for us. And thank you, viewer, for watching us get metaphysical and talk about a whole bunch of cool and random shit as always. Peace.
Yes, I.
My one love is actually One Love Massive. I'm an engineer here as well as a DJ.
My one love is telling stories through songwriting and music.
My one love is music and artists, man. Any way I can help any artists get seen, get some recognition out here, that's what I'm about.
My one love is creating art, music, culture, just creation.
Contributing to the deconstruction of the patriarchy, sexism, of the racism, institutions like that.
My one love is elevation, progression, always trying to reach higher levels, trying to make sure everybody gets a proper look and proper love they get in the universe.
My one love is just building for the community and creating for the culture.
My one love is youth and community and equipping them with the tools to be successful.
My one love is fashion in the city.
My one love is carrying the torch for hip-hop in DC.
My one love is creating a space and a platform for all these amazing people to get together and to feel accepted, to feel loved, to feel a part of something.
We gotta do it for the culture. Do it for the people. Do it for the block. And of course, do it for the cypher.
So you say that you spit, well step on up. No better rap, I eat MCs for lunch. Been moving crowds for years, come act tough. I will use your flow to light your ass up. No half step, only full press to the neck. If you bullshit and don't rock the mic correct, my level of mastery will show gaps that stretch like dragging a smart car up against the vet. Floyd's D with Tyson's knack of attack. About that time to bring hip-hop back, where you perfect the craft, no room for whack. And your rise to fame is by skills you pack. So you got hot bars, well now's your chance. Come one, come all, come to the dance. Santos the host, 06 Chris with the bag. Cypher for the radio, this is the lab.